Michael Corsells here today. I want to talk to you about genetic testing. Should you do it or should you not do it? So there's pros and cons for doing it. That's why a lot of folks will recommend that talk to a genetic counselor once they get these results. Talk to your doctor for sure to go over the results. The thing is, these genetic tests are readily available online. You can go online and order it. You might have heard of 23andMe or Ancestry.com or Habit.com. There's more and more of these labs that do genetic testing. But how are you going to respond when you get the results? Sometimes these results could be a good thing, so you can be more proactive at preventing. Like if you have you're more prone because you have a gene for a particular cancer, or you're positive for a gene for heart disease or diabetes or obesity. How are you going to respond when you get those results? So that's where it's like iffy if you should get the test or not, because there are some folks who go crazy once they get the results. Other people are like, cool, I got these results, I'm going to be more proactive. So it really depends on how you will respond. What are you going to do when you get that information? So sometimes with too much information, it can actually be counterproductive, because the placebo effect is super strong. A good example is there was this study that showed that if you had this particular gene, you express this gene better, you have better ability to deal with stress, like a physical stress. You got better endurance. And then there's this other gene where it's kind of the opposite. You don't do as well with physical endurance. You're going to get tired easier. So in the study, this is a simplified version, they told people, yeah, you have that gene where you have pretty poor endurance. And those folks who didn't actually have the gene, they were getting tired way easier. Like, oh yeah, it's the genes that's causing me to be more tired. There's folks who didn't have the gene that expressed better endurance. They didn't have that gene, but they had that mentality that they did have the gene. They actually did much better. So those results are huge. That placebo effect is very powerful. The mind is super powerful. So this is very dependent on your outlook on life. If you are more of a negative Nelly who's always thinking about negative things, you're like, man, I got my boss is going to come here and I'm going to be super stressed out. Whereas another person, different outlook, my boss is going to come here. This is my opportunity to shine. Those two people have different outlooks, but they're going to have different results. You might have noticed people who have that negative outlook, always angry about things, blaming people left and right. They're going to get sick more often. It's going to take them a longer time to heal or get over an illness or get over a physical injury. Whereas people who have more of that positive outlook, they're going to be more healthy, because that positivity does influence your genes. So there's things with genes and genetics where people think you got these genes, you're stuck with your lot in life. It's like you're saying poor people are poor because they got that poor genetic gene. People are healthy because they got that healthy gene. Genetics is one component, but there's the environment as well. So it's the whole nature versus nurture, or the environmental effect, and that includes your outlook in life. And so there's something called epigenetics, and that's the study of how changes in our environment actually affect our genetics and expression of certain genes. They turn on and off certain genes based on the environment. So we're not just hardwired to be stuck where we're at. There's multiple factors that will influence how we are later in life. And so the epigenetics is huge in that component. So, is there going to be a natural disaster? Is there going to be a physical stress or a mental or emotional stress? And how will that trigger your gene expression? How will your financial status, your emotional status, who are you hanging out with? What do you eat? Are you eating organic? Are you eating all this junk that's filled with synthetic things? Those can also influence our genes, how they're expressed. So multiple factors. So when it comes to testing, you got to see, are you going to be that negative Nelly person and be proactive? be or not proactive at all and just focus on I'm going to get cancer, I'm going to get cancer, or you can be proactive and focus on I'm going to improve my lifestyle, be happier, be healthier, reduce stress, eat healthier foods, exercise regularly, hanging out with some people who are going to lift you up and make you improve yourself. So it all depends on that if you want to do those genetic tests. We're here available to help interpret those tests, but choose if you're going to do those tests wisely. All right, hope this helps out, and I'll talk to you guys later.